thought-provoking programs for the winter season here on 2. Some of nature's secrets are revealed in a stunning new series, Atlantic Realm. Rare events and strange discoveries, some of them captured on film for the first time. But as the series The North Sea shows, all this could be a thing of the past if we continue to use our rivers and seas as international refuse dumps. And programs about people.
From Office
9 on 1 now. Whereas we on 2 head for the North Sea in half an hour in our search for answers to the pollution being pumped into it down...
Good evening. Cool, you look brown. That's just about the best thing anyone can say to you when you get back from holiday, isn't it? That's why we work so very hard to achieve that healthy glow. But is it healthy? Nowadays, they keep telling us it's dangerous.
Skin cancer is the second commonest reported cancer in the United Kingdom today, and its incidence is rising rapidly.
Well, should holidays in the sun carry a government health warning? Tonight, we sort out the facts. A holiday in Ireland has more to do with refreshing the inner man than merely toning up the skin, and the trip I take from Dublin to the Aran Isles is third prize in our Holiday 89 competition.
And with the words of one famous film director ringing in our ears, we set off to turn those home video nasties into goodies.
One of the major trends in the holiday industry has been the arrival of the long-haul package. But it's not the only development in those far-flung destinations. There's been quite a subtle change in what we do and how long we spend in distant destinations. The old attitude was, having come so far, wouldn't it be a shame if we didn't also visit wherever? So long-haul trips tended to be tours with add-ons. A day here, a day there, and in the end you didn't know where you'd been. Hawaii was a classic example, often tagged on to the end of a West Coast holiday or an Australian trip. But now it's being asked to stand up for itself.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody'd be surfing like California. You see them wearing their baggies, Warachi sandals too, a bushy, bushy blonde hairdo, surfing USA.
The air-conditioned hotel room could be in San Francisco or Sydney, but the view is unmistakably Honolulu's fabulous Waikiki Beach.
Hey, what's happening over there? You guys gotta get down to Waikiki. This is where it's happening right here. See this boat? Captain Biggie. You see me? I'll take good care of you. If you're really good, I'll give you a round trip. So see you soon, mighties. Come on down.
Honolulu, on the island of Oahu, is the state capital of Hawaii. It's also Surf City. If you want to be more than a spectator, then you've got to get down to the basics.
All you gotta do is float enough by your waist here, and you slide your body all the way up to the surfboard. All the way up. Okay? Arch your back, keep your chin high, okay? Okay? Nice butterfly stroke, most powerful hand paddle we have for beginners. Making it out to sea. Now let's say a wave breaks in front of you while you're making your way out to the ocean. All you gotta do is paddle very hard into that wave, grab your rails, and lift your body halfway up, yeah?
They say the perfect wave is more likely to be found off the shores of Oahu than anywhere else on Earth. After all, surfing was invented here centuries ago by the Polynesians. Once, this North Pacific dream destination was a kind of dream. Before the Americanization of Hawaii as the 50th state. Before the great Polynesian ruler, King Kamehameha, united the islands. Before the ships of Captain Cook brought the killer venereal disease, and the missionaries brought a new god and inhibitions. But the changes brought about by all those past invaders were only the beginning. Look what tourism is doing to Hawaii today. Now Polynesian has become polyglot, and there are a lot of polyester souvenirs about. Well, I think I can resist the matching moo-moos, but I can't live without this.
Aloha.
Aloha yourself. Oh, smells wonderful. If you want to get away from the high-rise, just hop on a local bus. For a bargain 60 cents, you can go all around the island. You know, here I am, just a few miles from Waikiki. I've got peace and quiet and a beach practically all to myself. Remember Elvis in the film Blue Hawaii? Well, this is the very beach they used as location. Now the place to snorkel. And if you want a bit of history with a smile, go to the dolphin show at Sea Life Park. They're the only mammal with a brain as big as man's. And who knows, maybe an even greater intelligence. At least they know when to stop performing. But from dawn till dusk, the Surf City show goes on. Half an hour's flight away is Maui, the second most popular holiday island, which is not surprising, for it has a beauty which is both turbulent and timeless. When the missionaries came, they not only brought Christianity to Hawaii, they brought pineapples. And today there are pineapple fields forever. But a helicopter ride into the mountain greenery is a trip into the realm of supernature.
Very few people have ever walked in this part of Maui. Most of the things that grow up here aren't found anyplace else in the world. It's one of the most biologically isolated places in the world. There's danger from flash flood and mudslides, and especially from lava tubes in places with caves with thin roofs on top to fall through. 35 years ago, National Geographic sponsored an 11-man expedition that disappeared trying to get up to the top of the Eki crater next to these valleys. The ancient Polynesians said that the gods lived in this valley. They said that they poked holes in the rocks for the waterfalls to come out of. And it's still by far the best source of water on Maui.
At around £100 a ticket, this will bruise your purse, but it's sheer magic. Maui's more relaxed than Oahu. There's no urban sprawl like Honolulu, and the resorts are well spaced out around the island. At Kanapali, the Royal Lahaina Hotel is right on the beach. Again, the style and standard of comfort is totally American, as is the food. A bit bland, perhaps, for European tastes, but there are compensations. No tummy troubles, and you get the greatest all-American ice cream. For local colour, you make for Lahaina, the old whaling town which inspired Herman Melville to write Moby Dick. You find plenty of relics about in the taverns that once were the boarding houses for sailors. But there are no whalers in the harbour now, only the smart yachts of this honeymooner's favourite port of call. Aloha! Aloha!
Now you get kind of like Hawaiians out there.
Hello. Hello. Hi. Aloha and welcome. Thank you very much.
The Hawaiians don't just throw a party, they have luau's, and they stage them for visitors.
Oh, I'll try some.
Teriyaki beef on the menu shows the Japanese influence, but the main course is a whole pig cooked to melting point in an earth pit. The tradition of hospitality is inborn in Polynesians, and to every stranger too they extend the love, peace and goodwill embodied in that word aloha.
Well, that's a great holiday. But one drawback about Hawaii may be the length of flight. On the homeward journey in particular, the old body clock takes a bit of a pounding. 22 hours of not knowing whether you want a gin and tonic or a bowl of cornflakes. However, that 2-week, 2-centre holiday was with Sovereign Worldwide and cost from £1,239 per person. That's return flight and room only. But American coffee shop food is not expensive, and usually it's very good. How do you like your eggs, sir? Over easy? One thing we noticed in Hawaii was just how seriously the Americans were reacting to the question, is it safe to go out in the sun? Sun is a burning issue. And it's in the news again, highlighted in Europe against Cancer Year, which starts next week.
If you did the clinics I did and saw the amount of skin cancer that I see, you'd certainly be worried about it, and I think people would have more respect for their skins than they currently have had, or at least have had over the last few years. I think the important messages are that there are some people who are at high risk and some people who aren't at such great risk. There are broadly two categories of individual in this country: those who are very fair-skinned with tendency to red hair, green eyes and freckles, and those are people who are at high risk of skin damage, and they need to be careful. There are also plenty of people who've got good dark skins, who tan easily in sunshine, never burn, have dark eyes and so on, and they're at much less of a risk. It's easy enough when you look around you to see the sort of people we're talking about, because the two groups are well represented throughout our friends and relatives.
Well, some people are paying attention to the dangers and the aging effects of the sun. For skiers, it's trendy to wear sun blockers, a precaution that's both glamorous and sensible. But for most of us summer holiday makers, a suntan is still the best souvenir. So what's in store if we ignore the warnings?
It's important to realise that there are more than one type of skin cancer. The press reports that have appeared over the last couple of years have often tended to lump them together, which leads to a lot of confusion. The commonest types are basically nuisance value tumours. There are obviously plenty of them. We see perhaps 25,000 patients a year with this type of skin cancer, but they don't have major life-threatening risks. These are usually associated with chronic sun exposure and can be treated easily when seen, either by cutting them out or other means. But the sort of thing that Ronald Reagan had on his nose, and he's had no problem subsequently. The other type, however, which is much rarer, but is of much more importance, is malignant melanoma. And this is a disease which certainly kills. It kills people by spreading into internal organs, and it can do this very rapidly, and therefore it needs to be caught very early before it's done that. It's a disease which is associated, we think, with intermittent sun exposure, possibly with episodes of sunburn, and possibly with episodes of burning and excessive sun exposure during childhood. About 2,500 cases of malignant melanoma are seen every year, and of these, many patients will die. So it's important we get at that tumour very early on.
Yes, it's important to stress that if people go to their doctors with this type of cancer early, it is curable. Well, the Cancer Research Campaign is trying to get people to look out for changes in any moles, birthmarks, brown patches on the skin, etc. The points to look out for are listed on these Mole Watcher leaflets and posters, and we'll send out the leaflets with our fact sheet this week. Well, mole watching will combat melanoma, but for all types of skin damage and skin cancer, the real message is that prevention is better than cure. So look after the old skin. And if you have fair skin, freckles and fair hair, use sun cream with a sun protection factor of 15+, and 6 or so for darker skins. Use the sunscreens often, use waterproof ones, and wear a hat. The Australians have been at this a very long time, and they have a very good message for you.
It's a real signal today, Dad. Sun between me and you. I'll give you a clue. Just sitting round the barbecue, could barbecue you between 11 and 3. Live under a tree. The best sunscreen of all is absolutely free. So slip, slop, slap, da-da. Stop skin cancer day. Especially in the middle of the day. Say slip, slop, slip, slop, slap.
And remember, kids cook quick. Take care of the little ones in the sun.
Now, a little bit of good news, if you're not a tour operator or travel agent, that is. January is usually the time when they can expect us to be queuing to book, and it's next month they sit down and calculate what bargains, if any, they'll offer to tempt us into the final seats and beds.
However, this year they're discounting already. You can expect free drinks, food vouchers and even flowers in your upgraded rooms. The reason, bookings this January are lower than ever. Take advantage of the discounts, but there's no panic. It's a buyer's market. Use the discounts either to get the holiday you want for less or to get a more expensive holiday for the same money.
Now, one of the great pluses for holidaying in the Republic of Ireland is, well, a minus. There are around 50 million fewer people there than in the UK. As a result, more space and more time. Now, this particular trip is actually the third prize in our competition. More clues coming up later. But first, come on over and have a look at the old country. We start with a long weekend of luxury in the capital itself. I have a personal love of Dublin. Boyhood memories blend into the present for me. But if you'll be making your first visit, you're in for an experience. Dublin has that indefinable quality, style. And there's no finer place to stay than the famous Shelbourne Hotel.
This is Dublin's famous Grafton Street, on a par with our Bond Street, I suppose. It's recently been made into a pedestrian precinct, sort of Irish pedestrian precinct. All the drivers are, in fact, pedestrians.
Dublin is fairly small by capital city standards. Investigated on foot is my advice. The natives are perfectly friendly. You won't feel a stranger for long. The River Liffey flows through the heart of the city, and its excellent harbour gives it the name. Dublin in the Irish. It means Black Pool.
Blackpool's fair city doesn't have a ring about it, though, does it? No, better to stick with the Gaelic, as they did. This commemorates the 1,000 years existence of the city of Dublin. Anne Olivia, the spirit of the River Liffey, on which Dublin is built. The Dubliners, with their remarkable knack for self-effacement, have already dubbed her the floozy in the jacuzzi.
From Dublin, you'll be off to the legendary Ashford Castle, to County Mayo in the far west of Ireland. The origins of Ashford Castle go back to the early 13th century. It's built on the shores of Lough Corrib. If you're used to a hectic lifestyle, Dublin will ease you down a gear or two. In the west, sure, you'd almost be having to drop into neutral. Ashford Castle, renovated by the Guinness brewing family, is now one of the world's finest hotels. I have to tell you, you won't be the first VIP to have stayed here.
Over here on the left, down the corridor, is the presidential suite, where President Reagan stayed during his visit to Ireland in 1984.
I notice I haven't got that room. Why not?
I'm afraid you don't qualify for the same type of accommodation. Right over there, that's the Connaught room. That's our specialty French restaurant. We've got a chef who comes the whole way from France. He does all the cooking in there.
No chance of a beans on toast then, I suppose.
None at all, sir, I'm afraid.
Getting back to basics is easy enough, mind you. You won't need your Filofax to find the local hostelry. And the jukebox works by, well, putting a pint or two into it. Will you look at the Aegis on the drum? I think he has the drink taken. If you're clever enough to win our prize, you'll also pay a visit to the Aran Islands, out off the west coast of Ireland. It was a first time for me, despite being born within 30 miles of them. There, on Inishmore, the largest island, you'll see Dun Angus, the most famous prehistoric fortification in Europe. The Aran culture and way of life is unique, and has influenced many famous writers, Synge, Liam O'Flaherty, and in more recent times, Brendan Behan. Behan, the pub roisterer, sought some refuge here for a while from tenement life in Dublin and learnt Aran's language, the Gaelic.
They say there are 227 saints buried on this island, one for every 10 of the population currently living here. I doubt if even the Vatican City could beat that for a saint-to-soul ratio. Michael, tell me about all these saints.
Well, St. Denda's our patron saint, and St. Columkill was here, St. Finbar was here, St. Ronan was here, St. Kieran was here, and St. Columkill and the small church up here, St. Benin was here.
That's just a few of them.
That's only a few that we can name at the moment, yeah.
I'm intrigued most of all on this island by the walls. There are thousands of walls.
Well, they reckon there's over 7,000 miles of stone wall on the island, from here to San Francisco.
But they must have taken years to build, because they're not cemented in any way, or they're just laying on each other.
Well, that's right. They're built like lace, so when the wind blows, the wind goes through them.
So they knew what they were doing?
Oh, they did, yeah.
Once they're pointed in the general direction of the sea, these Aran Islanders know precisely what they're doing too. These boys will take this boat out in a force 7 if they have to. The curragh, the centuries-old tool of trade of the Aran fishermen. While you're here, you can get your hand-knitted Aran sweater, which will last forever. And you can take a walk on the wild side of Europe, where the next parish west is Boston, Massachusetts. Meanwhile, back east at Ashford Castle, a change of mood.
Mellow, the moonlight to shine is beginning. Close by the window, young Eileen is spinning. Then to the fire of my grandmother sitting, groaning and moaning and drowsily knitting. Eileen, Cara, I hear someone.
If you get to the west of Ireland, enjoy especially the quality and cleanliness of the air, the outdoor life.
It's a nice soft day, thank God, as they say in Ireland. Raining. It does a bit. I'll tell you this, though. Forget about all your health farms and stuff. I haven't fished for years, but I know what they mean about the therapy. Good air, relaxing, no one to pester you, no traffic jams, and maybe, just maybe, a fish.
Have you fished much yourself, sir?
Not a lot. Are we going to get any luck today, or am I wasting my time here?
I'd say we get a couple of trout. It's a good day, it's raining and there's a nice breeze. So we know, I'd say we'd easily get a few trout after lunch.
Mind you, wasting the time is part of the exercise. Nice to waste a little time. I think the Irish philosophy is that time is for wasting.
Cheerily, cheerily, noiselessly whirring, spins the wheel while the foot's stirring, sprightly and lightly and merrily ringing, sounds the sweet voice of the young maiden singing.
Ireland, it's a wonderful attitude adjuster.
Never did catch a fish. If you want that holiday and don't win the prize, it'll cost you £1,320 per person. That's with full board, car hire, the flight to the Aran Islands, and the services of my nice fisherman's friend. Without the extra luxuries, you could do it in 5 days for £425. But now, how to get there for nothing? It's competition time. The last 3 clues coming up. 3 destinations, the first letters of which you need. A lake district, but it's not our lake district. It's a country of 6 republics, 5 nationalities, 4 languages, 3 faiths, and 2 alphabets. That should narrow it down a bit. This river is the nickname for this fair city's most famous brew. But if you've been paying attention, this is a literary capital. That's for sure. Finally, a double-barreled name, British for the time being, but more sweet than sour. Head east, young man. Well, by now you should have 9 letters making up the answer to Where I Am. Don't worry if you've missed any or all of the other 6, because next week's Radio Times has all 9 and the vital entry form. Postcards don't count, I'm afraid.
And I'm going to give you one final opportunity next Monday at 3 o'clock on BBC One daytime to sample the prizes, see the clues, and work out the answer. And when you've done it, correctly of course, it'll go into the live draw on this